Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of my favourite people and some of the world's funniest people as well. And we've got one for you today. Chris Ramsey, how are you?
Hey, world's funniest. That's a pretty big, step up for what I was thinking. But yeah, nice to hear. Thank you.
Well, I said some of. I mean, I'm not saying you are the world's funniest. You're getting close. You're not doing bad.
No, you've said it now. You can't take it back. No, yeah. It's very nice to be considered funny in any sense.
Do you know what I love about you? You have an incredible warmth, and I got to know you through Celebrity Juice on ITV2, and you really nailed that. You come across, you don't show off, you're not interrupting, but you always shine when he gives you that opportunity, and it's such a difficult balance that on those shows, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, especially on that one when you're against, what you'll not mind to seeing a force of nature in Lee Francis as Keith Lemon. He's incredible. So when you've got to try and jump into whatever he's sort of just pulling out of the air as he does, it can be quite challenging. I mean, it's fantastic. It's easy to, on them shows as well, for me personally, it's easy to get carried away and just want to just sit there as a spectator and laugh and enjoy it and forget that you're actually there to do a job and you've got to bring something to the table as well, you know.
I always remember interviewing Dara O'Brien, and he said the problem with Frankie Boyle on Mock the Week was that he'd do 2 hours of stand-up, and 2 hours of stand-up would get edited out. I mean, there's no point talking to yourself, is there?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So it's but I mean, when I did Mock the Week, when I do stuff like that, I genuinely have to try and remind myself that I'm there to do the job as well, because it's just so easy to just sit and laugh at these funny people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you've got to stick your oar in, but again, you've got to try not to look like you're interrupting or trying to show up. It's a hard balance to strike, and I think I'm there. I'm getting quite good at it, which is it's only took a couple of years, so I'm happy.
Can you believe the luck that you've made it onto these shows and that you've managed to form a career? I mean, you could have been one of those intellectual types and got your degree and just be boring and normal. You took the risk by dropping that and becoming a comedian, and now you're accepted in those circles. Is that thrilling when you're sat opposite your peers and contemporaries and they accept you as one of theirs?
It really is, yeah. It really is. It's that thing of, I remember I did the first time I felt that happen. First of all, you say academic types. I was only doing media studies, so
right, worthless.
I would have been too far up academic ladder. When I remember the first time I ever did. I met Frank Skinner right at a gig in Edinburgh, and I walked in and I was like, "Hello," and they're like, "Oh, Frank, this is Chris," and I was like, "Ooh," and I was like so excited to meet him. It was amazing. And then I remember that I did a gig the same a couple of weeks later because it was the Edinburgh Festival, and you could, you know what I mean, you can go and do a few gigs. And I walked into the same room, and I remember walking into the room and going, I just walking in and going, "Hi Frank," and Frank went, "Oh hi Chris," and it was like, oh my god, like I'm literally, it's just, it's no longer, "Oh hello, do you remember me?" It's like, "Oh yeah, I do remember you. You're in this job now." And it's I mean, when you do it on telly, it's 10 times more. When you just sort of, they all still treat it as a day job. I still get very excited when I'm going to do a panel show or something, because, you know, Dara Brain does every single week. It's his day job. It's, you know, but when I'm going to do something like that, I get quite excited, and it's always really good to just sort of be one of the team, really. But I had a moment last night, actually. Now and then I have moments where I'm sort of, I don't know, it's a weird thing to get used to doing stand-up, and these people listening to what you have to say, and people paying to come and see you. I'm on tour at the moment. I did a gig last night in Belfast, and I had a little bit of out-of-body experience halfway through in my head where I'm like, my word, I'm just standing here on stage just telling a story, a funny story that I'd probably be telling in the pub if I wasn't a comedian. Yeah. And there's hundreds in this room hanging on me every word, waiting for the end of the story. It's such a surreal moment. I had a real out-of-body. I phoned my wife when I got off stage last night, and I was like, honestly, I had another little out-of-body experience thinking, my God, these people actually, it's so strange when you step back from it. I tried to never stop thinking about how lucky I am to be doing something I love, you know.
It is the weirdest feeling in the world. It once happened to me. The council phoned me up in Leicester and said, "Would you introduce Her Majesty the Queen?" And I thought, well, I've got nothing else to do on Thursday. And there were 40,000 people there, and I thought, I sort of zoomed out for myself and looked down. Very strange, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's an amazing, it's a lovely thing, but it's that weird thing of like, I don't know, no matter how much the crowd love you, no matter how great they are, there's always that thing where you think, there's a few hundred people in here now, like, what if they all just turned on us and decided they didn't want to listen anymore? Like, how bad would that be? And, it's lovely though.
And the one thing I can't work out about you is the fact that you're now happily married and you're all cushy. I presume everything's going well, is it?
Yeah, spot on, really, really good. Yeah.
What's the point of being young and trendy and sexy and having the girls falling over you and then being married? I mean, that's a home goal, isn't it?
was because I met the best one.
Ah, good answer.
I met the best one that could possibly be out there. I literally had a moment going, there's pointless looking anymore. There's no one better than you, is there? And that's not a settling down thing. That was a kind of, I'm wasting my time here.
Do you know why I think that's beautiful? Because this business is horrible. It's horrible from the second you get into it to the minute you leave. It can dispose of you within a heartbeat. You can be top of the game one minute and you can be Michael Barrymore the next. It's a tough game. If you haven't got that family life and that stability, I think it must be incredibly tough, and it must be really helpful to have that sort of life that's normal, and it all becomes irrelevant, doesn't it?
Yeah, I still live in the north, man. I still live in South Shields. Where I'm from. I absolutely love it. I'm probably, my dad comes around, cuts me lawn for us. I see all my mates.
Why can't you cut your own lawn?
Whenever I can. Well, my dad likes doing it, and it's good to see him. I think it's because, right, what he did was, for Christmas, he bought us a lawnmower.
Right.
That was when I knew I'd grown up.
Yeah.
But he lawnmower for Christmas, devastated. Lawnmower and a shed. Not joking. They owe me 2 Christmas presents off my dad. Serious, my mum and dad. But it's better than his, so he keeps it in his van, and he does his lawn, and he comes on and does mine. So essentially it wasn't even for me. He said it was for me. It was a rubbish present, and it wasn't even for me, so I'm gutted. But yeah, it's great, man. Yeah, I still live in the north, and see my dad all the time, see my mates that I've known for years as much as I can, and yeah, I'm not in the whole. I'm not really. I said the other day to someone, I said, you've got more chance of running into me in a motorway service station than you have in a happening nightclub.
And I'm the same. I mean, I live in Nottingham. I've never lived anywhere else. There was a small period I had to live in London because I was doing a show there. But I come home because you really get to see real people. And
hold on 1 second. Did you just claim Nottingham was in the north?
Oh, don't start this debate. Listen, anything south of Leicester...
Are we going to fall out? In Nottingham, you are essentially in Spain. You're almost Spanish. That's how south you are, right? I go to Nottingham, I take me trunks, I take space, right? No,
listen,
what you mean, yeah.
We've got Soon Pollard. We've got everything we need here.
London hasn't really got a community feel for me. I mean, I enjoy travelling to London to do work now and then, and I will... Do you know what I mean? If I'm down for to do a TV show, my wife will come down and we'll maybe have a little night there and stuff. But I always in my head, I think, if I'm going to live here, can I envisage myself getting me big shop in? And I cannot envisage myself on the tube with me big shop. Not in a million years. Just like dropping stuff and just eggs and that and just rattling bags and people. Nah, forget it.
I mean, and your dad couldn't come round with a mower because he'd have to pay the congestion charge, wouldn't he?
No, it cost him a fortune a pet. So I might as well get a gardener.
How do you do it? How do you come up with your material? Because what's amazing about you live is you're so relatable. I guess that's it, isn't it? Just knowing your audience and somehow mastering the skill of making every day funny.
Yeah, well, I just honestly, it's weird. I just have this kind of ability to attract weird situations, and I think it is me. And I don't know, it's just great stuff happens, and sometimes I go, oh, God, why can't I just check in a hotel and everything go right and I'm just getting rest and it'll be fine? But then I thought, well, if it didn't, I wouldn't have anything to talk about. So it's good that all these things keep going tits up. So it works sometimes, do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's I don't know, I like to talk about stuff that, I mean, I'm not one of these comics who comes out and gives you observation after observation after observation, but I do hide observations quite well inside stories. Because I can't relate to a crowd by going, have you ever noticed this happened? I like to throw it inside of a story, and then afterwards someone will come up and go, that thing you said when you were talking about making the breakfast or whatever, that always happens to me. And I'll go, yeah, well, it was there as an observation, but I didn't do it as a standalone observation. But I just talk about my life, even now, this current show is about when I got kicked off Soccer AM. And it's not about being a celebrity or being on the telly. It's about being an idiot who couldn't control his own mouth and got himself kicked off a TV show on a Saturday morning for saying something daft. But even though I say it at the beginning, even though I'm talking about being on telly, I'm not bragging. I'm not standing there going, look at me, I'm on telly, because the story ends with me being the idiot, me being the butt of the joke. And yeah, but I always like to talk about stuff that I'm doing and stuff that's true to me. So even if it does happen to be being on telly, I don't know, there's always something weird about when you see like one of these massive like arena filling comedians and you see them doing a routine and they go, I was in the supermarket the other day. And you go, no, you weren't. There's no chance on this earth that you were in Iceland 2 days ago. Not in a million years, mate.
They can afford the $4.99 to avocado deliver, can't they? Do you know what's amazing, though? You talk there about being fired, and I'm a guy who's lost every job that I've ever had. And I always think that what we do is on a precipice, because they go on, be funny, push it, go on, get ratings, be funny. And then you one day mistakenly overstep the line and they sack you and make a fool of you in the papers. It's really tricky, isn't it, to know where the line is?
You're a bugger. That's terrifying. But yeah, I know what you mean. There's always the first. Someone's always ready to point the finger, I think. But I don't go on my way to be offensive or be anything like that. I just kind of I'm not. I don't know. I'm not like. I see it on stage sometimes. I say I'm not an opinion ninja. I'm not one of these people who comes out and goes, "Listen to this. This is the way you should think. This is what's wrong with this, and this is it." Because if I go out on a night out and you know, what I mean, people who come and see me, they'll get a babysitter. They'll maybe go for a food. Normally, go to Nando's every month. The amount of tweets I get of people going to Nando's because they know I'm a big fan. And then they'll come in and have a couple of drinks, and then they'll head off home later on. And I don't know. I just want to be funny to them. I don't want to preach to them. I just want to tell them funny stories and make them laugh. I don't want to be like, and at the same time, I don't want to go. Yes, I'm a bit rude, and yes, I do sometimes go a little bit far. But within the context, I never go out of my way to upset someone or offend anyone. I go, "Ooh, watch this! Ooh, you can't handle what I'm about to say."
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I'm a professional clown. I can't. Do you know what I mean? I'm a clown. My job is a clown. Years ago, if I was rubbish, if I was doing this job and I was rubbish, the king would have had my head chopped off. So I can't stand there trying to be the coolest guy ever and thinking all this, because I'm a jester, I'm a court jester. That's what my job is. I don't understand this sort of watch out for me. Yeah.
You should really go on stage with a pointy hat and sort of throw a liver around the stage or something.
Yeah. But me, I might as well do it. To be fair, I'm one step shy of it at the moment. Anyway, let's be honest.
Do you realise how spectacular your life is right now? That you're on TV, you've got a balanced life, you live in the north, you're not in London, you've got a beautiful wife. I mean, it's going pretty well, isn't it?
Well, I always I never stop to look at the view. I'm always continually climbing.
Yeah, but you must. Let me tell you something. I watched a program by Oprah Winfrey the other week, and she said something that changed my life. You've got to be present, because you know what? When it's all gone, you'll wish you'd thought about it and enjoyed it. You're not one of those that's always kind of at the next gig before you're doing this one, are you?
I wouldn't say that. No, I definitely have my moments, but I never sort of stop and go, "Yeah, this is great. I'm happy here." Because I am happy here, but I'm always moving on to the next thing at the same time. But not like a crazy person,
right?
But you know what I mean, not like with the motivation of a serial killer. But I know what you mean. I do sort of think, yeah, this is great, but I'll do that on my days off. But I don't get. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say I don't get cocky about it. I don't go, "Yeah, look at me, look at this guy, everything's great." You know what I mean? Like a music video, like riding along in a lowrider with me arm hanging out from some sort of drape pumping. I don't do that. But yeah, God, I constantly. When I do some gigs, man, the crowd must be thinking, "Why is he thanked us so many times?"
Yeah.
Like, what with this game? But I know it's just I try not to get cocky about it. I try not to be.
No, you mustn't get cocky, but always count your blessings. For example, I'm a chubby ginger guy with not much downstairs. You know, there's not much going on in my life, Chris. You know what I mean? There's always someone worse.
That might be the best sentence I've heard today.
Yeah.
I heard a Northern Irish man say "Eye of the Tiger" earlier. That was nice. But you might have just beat that.
There you go. Funny to you, real life to me. Hey, listen, I've loved talking to you. If people want to find out more, please go to his website. It's chrisramseycomedy.com, chrisramsey.com. Find out about all your gigs. You're all over the country. Next year is going to be even bigger. So great to talk to you. I think you're such an inspiration, especially for young comedians. You're different and you make it look so easy. And on the shows you do, that's so tricky. Congratulations, Chris.
Thank you so much, mate. Bloody lovely talking to you.
Cheers, big man. See you soon.
Bye.